Hi everyone, my name is Erin Stewart. I'm the founder of Scenic West Design. In today's AI UX Teardown, I'm going to take a look at Khanmigo by Khan Academy. Our team does a lot of work in the edtech space, so we've of course been talking a lot about AI product strategy, both for AI first startups and what market opportunities are out there, as well as of course for established edtech companies that are going to need to adapt to the market while still figuring out a business model that builds on their past success and makes sense long term going forward. So there's a lot of complexities in that, and of course we can draw great inspiration, both do's and don'ts, from looking at other AI product experiences. So today we're going to go through Khanmigo from Khan Academy. So as a parent, I am familiar, of course, with Khan Academy. My kids skew a little young for this content still. But let me just, for the sake of anybody who is new or hasn't looked at it in a while, just kind of click through a couple of things for context. So here I'm going to jump into second grade math. It looks like I've got some different content here. Looks like it wants me to start here. And it wants me to work on adding within 20 visually, waiting for it to load for a second. But I can already see on the side, let me make this smaller, that I've got a series of videos, and I'm actually not sure why. Okay, this is where I thought I was going to start. So I've got text-based content, I've got video, more immersive content as well. We won't play that now. I see that I can log in and interact with basically discussion board or comments. And then it looks like it has some like practice lessons and stuff for me. Okay, that makes sense, and it reinforces related content. But as we see, like so far, previewing this, no immediate introduction to AI, and it seems like, it's guiding me through some things. So I don't necessarily expect that if I were to answer this wrong, that AI would deliver like custom supplementary content to me, which is kind of where I'm expecting that this is going to go. But let's see. So here, let me just jump over to their primary homepage. They obviously are marketing to teachers, school districts where you're selling at larger volume. And it's interesting, they also have this writing coach. Scrolling down, talks about helping with homework for parents. I've got some testimonials, FAQs. Okay, this is an interesting one. So one thing I would call it is anticipating this question for your buyers, regardless really of what industry you're in. But I think it's very telling that they have to proactively answer the why wouldn't I just use ChatGPT for this or Claude for this? We hear that a lot, and quite honestly, even in when we're talking to product teams and product leaders, there's still definitely a heavy usage of the major LLMs, and we're starting to see more people pick up AI tools that are like code co-pilots. Obviously, Claude has one of the main options for that, but GitHub Copilot, etc. Design tools, things like that. But I think any niche AI tool, whether you're ed tech or something else, is going to really have to think about differentiating against the larger players, and as they diversify their revenue streams and their offerings, realistically, groups like OpenAI could directly compete with or squash Khanmigo, or especially earlier stage AI startups. So really thinking about that is important. I see a few others here. Let me jump back into where I was starting. So here I see it's just $4 a month. I love that that's kind of upfront if you're price conscious, and gosh, the number of iPad apps subscriptions and things like that I have as a parent, it adds up really fast. And it's a little bit different when you're thinking about something where you're buying a product for your business and it helps you make money more efficiently, or whatever the motivation is. When you're a parent and you're thinking about, okay, how do I help my kids learn? You're obviously motivated to spend money on that. But you're also juggling a household budget, and so you want to make sure that this isn't something you forget about and is very expensive, or the worst is when you have something that's a annual subscription and you kind of forget, and then you get charged the $100 or $200 or whatever it is. Not a huge deal, but I appreciate that transparency up front, especially if you're speaking to parents. Let me click in and go here. So here I see the win. I just clicked in. I'm going to what really just looks like the Khan Academy top section of the flow. So I think that's interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. So I would imagine a lot of their audience comes from people that have already been using Khan Academy. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm definitely familiar with their offering and their kind model, but my kids are so young that we're not there yet. Let me pause here and I'll get signed in. Okay, so I just signed in with Google Auth. I did like that they had other options, but all pretty easy to do, standard stuff. Okay, so the next thing that I see after a pretty simple account creation is a paywall. And as I've talked about in my past videos about AI UX, I really feel strongly that, especially for a $4 a month subscription, I think they're banking on the association with Khan Academy. Obviously, a lot of great free content. As a parent, obviously, I have no problem if I think this is going to be valuable paying for it per month. I save $4 to do annual. That's not really a motivator there. So same thing, like offering it, but it's like not interesting or enticing. I think it's interesting. What I'd rather see them do is a free trial, whether that's credit-based or time-based, and then I get hit with the $4 a month. At the point that kicks in, it should be a no-brainer. It would be okay if I had to give my pay info ahead of time, but still got the free trial and theoretically could cancel if I don't forget. But really, I'd like to see this not like behind a paywall at all, so I don't have to give my credit card info until I've committed, and that I just know what I'm getting, especially as a parent. There's so many expenses, like that. I think that's important. But let me pause here and I'll go ahead and fill out my credit card info. Okay, so I just submitted my payment info. A little bit of friction in that experience. Obviously, it's like kind of a standard. I can't remember if they're using Stripe or something else, but it's one of those like pay UIs you see everywhere. So that part's good. When I added my credit card info, it was like, oh, I forgot my CVC, even though the rest is stored on my computer. And, in the time that I went to go get my wallet and type those 3 digits in, the dogs start barking, had to take them out, come back later, right? So, and honestly, I think that model is like any parent signing up for this is probably juggling a bunch of other distractions. So even just be mindful of that $4 shouldn't have been a gatekeeper for me to test something necessarily. I think is important. Let's see. So now that I've jumped in, I have that little loading animation and I'm in, and I kind of see an underwhelming UI, I think. But so I have to like read through everything. So try activities, have some fun, and power up your knowledge with our learning activities. Play a learning game, review for a test, or talk to someone from history or literature. You choose. So that's pretty cool. I'm Khanmigo, an AI-powered guide. I can help you along your journey. Let me help you find what you're looking for. Go to my dashboard, try activities. Okay, so I'm going to try activities. I feel like that could have been introduced in a more enticing way, but now I'm dropped into a UI experience. I've got a bunch of navigation on the side, and then I've got this sort of like AI chat-ish experience, but there's no way to type in yet, so it's looking for me to hit this understand. I find this a little bit overwhelming. So again, in that like mindset of parent, lots of distractions, this feels like I have to really think about, okay, what is this even doing, or what is it trying to help me do? So I think, and like this, honestly, I thought was really fun, and I almost wished that in the intro it was just like, hey, let's try out a few of the features and just kind of like feed me through it, or just give me like a video to show me. Because what I'm looking for here would be like, one, am I okay with my child using it? And then, assuming they're a little older, just pointing them in the right direction that they can use it the way they want to, or frame it as like, hey, I want you to use this to help you do this assignment that you need, or practice something that you didn't perform well on, or whatever it is. But here it says, I'm your AI teaching assistant. I use AI to help you teach and support your students. Okay, it's written as if I'm a parent. I'm pretty new, so sometimes I make mistakes. Give me the thumbs down. Okay, I do like that it introduces that. I think this could easily not be read. I probably would have just hit understand if I wasn't analyzing what they're doing. Safety, don't include any personal information. Okay, use chat history to review there. Okay, and I think like this is important, but same thing here. Like, give me a video or make it a little more obvious. Like, just really easy to miss this if you're in a hurry. Okay, so I I understand. And same thing, I was kind of waiting to get like a chat interface to just like ask it something, or kind of give me a hint of like, oh, upload this content, share a video link, or like, you know, take a photo of like your homework or whatever it was, right? So I'm still kind of waiting for that. Okay, so here, okay, so it still left that. So I guess this is the new content, but even the way it's presented, that like wasn't totally clear to me at first. Tutor me humanities. Okay. Parent dashboard. Okay, so let's try to get to, so at this point I'm in Tutor Me and I sign in as a parent. So I guess I have a question of like, is this what I'm giving my student, or how do I like share it with my student or my child? Parent tools, learner activities, learner home, parent dashboard. Okay, so let's, okay, I'm gonna go to the learner home and parent dashboard in a minute, but let's kind of play this out. Okay, and it's giving me like, you can ask me different things, solve for X. Okay, let's do teach me about multiplication. Okay, Khanmigo can talk, so use headphones and turn on Khanmigo voice. Select a voice to replay the message. Okay.
Hello, I'm Khanmigo.
Hello, I'm Khanmigo.
Hello, I'm Khanmigo.
Hello, I'm Khanmigo. I use artificial intelligence to help you.
Okay, also the audio, honestly, I would turn off for my kids because it would drive me nuts, but I think the audio experience, video experience, like just everything where it's like more conversational and interactive and less reading is just, I think, where we're headed. So I think I get why that would be there. I also know, like, my first grader, one of the things required for their school supplies was headphones. So like we're just kind of in that world and the kids are comfortable with it, I think. Okay, great. Multiplication is a way to add the same number many times. Can you tell me what 3 groups of 2 means to you? I'm just gonna write, I don't understand, but like my child probably wouldn't type that, so I would have to teach them how to use the speech recognition.
No problem. Multiplication means making equal groups. If you have 2 apples in each group and 3 groups, how many apples do you have in all?
Okay, so let's go to the answer and see. Okay, I do like the way it explained it and like grounded it in like physical items.
Yes, you got it. So
multiplication
is like adding 2 plus 2 plus 2. Can you think of another example using groups?
Okay. That feels confusing to me, honestly, but maybe I'm thinking about like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not totally sure that like that would be what my daughter needs to practice that. So maybe this would be better for slightly older kids, but let's go into, okay, so let's go into the parent dashboard. Okay, so here, this was my first question, right? If I were to redesign Khanmigo, a couple of things I would do. So one, I would not have the paywall. It's only $4 a month. I think it's worth letting somebody try it for free and then have that kick in. And I think that's increasing the standard for AI first products. I would have had an intro video that basically tells a parent the answers to the questions they probably have around privacy, how to add their child, and so on, and like maybe share some examples. And then I'd also want it to kind of reassure me like, hey, there's resources for like, we'll onboard your child for you. And like, obviously that's trusting technology with your kid, but like, I want to just know like, hey, this isn't like this thing where me giving my child this resource that's meant to help them learn turns into like me having to sit with them for hours or like really guide them through it. But again, I'm from the mindset of like early childhood education, still a little more with given the ages of my kids. But yeah, so we'll say no. include, yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, so it says it was created, but I don't see it show up. So yeah, I'm honestly not sure. Okay, here we go. That's there. And then I guess the idea would be that I would then, and it also didn't give me like a thing to like copy and paste. Like my kid was a little older, like to text them or to, save it. But like it should have at least given me a link to the login screen that's for the kids and like explain that, I think. So I don't know. Interesting. And then obviously I don't have anything here, but I do really like the idea of the dashboard and tracking what they've worked on, being able to look at their transcripts, things like that as the kid gets older especially would be important. But let's switch over to the learner home. So okay, this is really taking me through Khan Academy, so I think that's like an interesting thing where I came in through Khanmigo, but I'm really getting onboarded to Khan Academy, and that doesn't it's not totally aligning to like an AI first experience, if that makes sense. I think I just had probably misaligned expectations, but here I see my dashboard courses, first grade math, that's where I came in. And I see Khanmigo here, but we really want to see it like just incorporated into the experience or always sitting to the side. And I think children learn this stuff faster than we do as adults that already have like trained behaviors, but I'm really, expecting that AI chat would always be present or always in a sidebar or something as I'm going through the content. It has Khanmigo activities. I would assume that gets smarter as I go through the content. But we have to go farther through that to learn. So I think we'll stop there, but hopefully that sparked some ideas if you're working on your own AI for education product experience. If you have any questions about where I think AI is going for the ed tech industry or education in general, feel free to reach out. I love talking about this stuff and look forward to sharing more videos soon.